before we got into synchro, we knew nothing. I mean, to be honest, we knew how to swim, and we knew that we loved images of synchronized swimmers. We knew it was awesome, but the technical how-to, that was a little elusive.
I thought it would be dancing underwater, and it's like dancing underwater while trying not to drown.
This is like dance, but you're in the water and you're lifting yourself up. Like, wow.
My name's Zoe Holloman, and I'm part of the Subversive Sirens.
Woo!
Yes. On behalf of us, thank you so much for coming. And we are a Minnesota-based synchronized swimming team that is committed to Black liberation, body positivity and athletics, queer visibility, and equity in swimming and the aquatic arts. And thank you. We have our team members here today, almost all of our team members. I myself, Zoe Holloman. We have Signe Haraday.
Hey.
Hello. We have Nikki McCracken. Say hi.
Hi.
It doesn't have to be synchronized.
It's a
We have
PI.
Tana Harjas. Hello. And we have one siren who is with her daughter today at a softball tournament, but she is here in spirit. We are going to compete in the gay games. Yay! I know, it's very exciting.
Where are the gay games?
The gay games are in Paris, France. That's right. That's right. So we have been working very hard over the past several months. We have an awesome routine. We are swimming to a Prince mashup. We are honoring Prince as an example of Black excellence from Minnesota and nonconformity.
Yeah.
That's right. I think for me, like personally, I am a community organizer, and I'm a workaholic. A lot of my work is like focused outwardly on bringing justice for my community, and that is, a very difficult job, right? In our national situation, and locally, and so sometimes it feels like it's just bottomless, like it never ends. And also I just think that I grew up the way that I grew up. I saw all of these like incredible, strong women like doing all of these things for a lot of other people, but like not investing a lot in themselves. And so that's like, I feel like a lesson that I'm learning. One of the reasons that I feel so lucky to have joined this team, to have my teammates who are all doing the same thing, to have like this solidarity between women, and to have this art form, to be like submerged in water and like subverting in all of these different ways, right? So again, thank you for coming, and we're gonna let people just like get back to like mingling and things. I just want to really thank Kat and Kate again for everything that you're doing for us. It's awesome. Please shop here often if you don't already. They have great stuff, but also just like it's really nice to have a local business owner that's supporting all the right things. So so thank you for coming and supporting us.
Have some snacks.
Please, please have snacks, and we'll turn the music back on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because it's a party.
So, and I just remember thinking, I think my initial thought was, I didn't know that you did that. So I thought it was the type of thing that you did for a long time, not something you just decided to do and then did it.
So they have to be accountable to each other. They have to show up because they're a team, and they have to work together and work out, their routines. And that's kind of an exercise in physically working out, something that I think, are coordinating in their outreach as well. So it's kind of a nice, beautiful metaphor.
They are fierce, they are driven. I love that no one comes from lifetime of being synchronized swimmers, but they're willing to give it a try.
It's a difficult time in Minnesota, in America. I think a lot of us are trying to consider how best to respond to all the things that are happening. And that takes a lot of different forms. But one of them, I think the one that we might be tempted to neglect the most is self-care. Like doing things to take care of ourselves, being in community with people who we love, doing things that are weird and challenging and interesting and fun, going to Paris in the summer and competing as an athlete, just doing things that are centered around togetherness and joy. I think those two things, being open to possibilities and doing things that bring us joy, are vital right now.
So, Signe Hairday and I are at an all-day teacher workshop at St. Paul Conservatory for Performing Artists, where we both taught at the time. I still teach there. It is lunch. We are at a restaurant. Signe's just gotten back from the Gay Games in Cleveland, and she says to me,
I had this dream of like actually being an athlete at the Gay Games and not just being a spectator at some point. And Susie said to me,
Signe, you should do that. Like, that is such a doable dream. You could actually, in fact, do this.
And I was like, huh? What?
And she says, well...
Like, well, do you want to do it with me? And she was like, well, where is it?
Because Cleveland is really not that exciting. And she said, Paris. And I said, great, I'm in.
Are you serious? And she's like, yeah.
So then we pull up on the internet all of the possible sports that we could do. And I'm like, I don't want to do anything where I have to run, and I don't want to do anything that involves a ball.
And that sort of whittled down the things. And when artistic swimming came up, it was this thing of like, oh, I took 1 week of synchronized swimming camp like when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade.
We really love dancing.
We were like, done. Let's do it, synchronized swimming. And that's how it started. And then like a few weeks later, we actually like started to come up with a name. And Susie knew some people who were actually synchronized swimmers. And so they started to help us. And that was the beginning of the Subversive Sirens.
Didn't we just do this last night? So what was that commercial like? I'm finished making the donuts. Now I'm making the donuts.
At least there's like
Morning.
Hey ladies, where y'all going to? To the pool. Where y'all going to? To the pool. What you gonna do at the pool? Swim. What you gonna do at the pool? Swim. You gonna swim? You gonna swim? You gonna swim? You gonna swim? You gonna swim?
Fair to say all of us have maybe at different times in our lives to different degrees struggled to put ourselves as number one on the calendar. And when we block out Subversive Siren time on the calendar, it's a practice of putting ourselves as number one.
Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare.
We're not gonna wait for the world to be like this perfect to start living free now.
I definitely feel free in the water.
I
The water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Hey, give me your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2. We're just gonna go back and do it again.
But this is like 2.5 years condensed down to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah.
90 seconds. Yeah, 8 minutes.
Walkout. Yeah, splits to walkout.
There you go.
And then if it's a team, at some point you need to form a straight line, you need to form a circle. Yeah. So you guys remember you're free right now.
We'll give her a second to catch her breath. I think.
Free first.
Free first.
Team free.
Combo. Duet free.
Duet free. The hardest one first.
We're gonna do the hardest
The
one
hardest
first.
breath one first. Tana and Nikki, after our free, while I'm catching my breath, would you two introduce all of our people that have helped or helping? Thank you for coming.
So the wide world of sports is sadly too often not that wide in reality. The celebrated athlete is too often one thing, a chiseled star with a body not
Hoping
many
their
of us
mission,
really
black
has.
liberation,
Well,
clear
one group of
visibility,
5 women are
body
out to challenge
positivity,
that
and
stereotype in
equities in the
sports,
aquatic arts
and I would
would
like
have
to
a ripple
introduce you
effect.
to them tonight. These are the Subversive Sirens.
If you've had something that you've been imagining or daydreaming about, like you should just do it. It's like most dreams are eminently achievable. Like we have to start living the world that we're imagining.
One had a week of synchronized swimming camp in the 4th grade, but most of the others were pretty green. It didn't take long for the first of Sirens.
We exist in a world that doesn't actually want all of us to thrive. Forests and ecosystems thrive when they have relationships with the other parts of their systems. And so I think that the solidarity and the sisterhood is an embodiment of how we are helping each other to thrive in the world. How do you sustain and take care of your soul and your spirit so that you can do that work? So this becomes really restorative, and you can bring your whole self to this circle. Like, this is the first time when we said, actually, you know what? We're making a commitment of time and energy to each other that I think is also emblematic of the kind of world that we're striving to build.
Just having time to have joy together is so important. At least for me, it's something that I don't always remember as really important, you know? But it's healing, and it's like, and it's contagious. Like when you see it, you like want to be part of that. I need more of that in my life to make space for that, and for more of that to be like expansive. I want that.
Well done, Subversive Sirens. You've done an amazing job. You're going to be proud of yourselves.
Subversive Sirens. So in case you didn't know, now you know.
That's actually really cool of you.